कैसी तेरी खुद गर्जी, ना धूप चुने ना छाँव, कैसी तेरी खुद गर्जी, किसी ठोर टिके ना पाँव। मस्त मौला मस्त कलंदर, तू हवा का एक बवंडर, बुझ गयो अंदर ही अंदर क्यों रह गया रे कबीरा, मान जा रे फकीरा यूं न जा, आजा तुझको पुकारे तेरी परछाइयाँ।
Hello everyone, today we have with us SIYER. He is a singer, songwriter and also an author. He's performed in over 500 live concerts which include performances with Udit Narayan, Sadhna Sargam and Shankar Mahadevan. His music video has over 2.5 million views on YouTube. Let's talk to him and find out more about him, what he's done in the field of music. Hello SIYER. So tell us a bit about yourself and your journey in the field of music.
Sure, well firstly, hi Kirti, thank you for having me on the show. Look, my journey in music, it's been an interesting one, and in many ways it's just begun, even though I've been in the field for over 17 years. It all started off in the hometown of Baroda, which is where I grew up. My auntie, who's from Pune, visited with a whole collection of Shami Kapoor cassettes, and I said, hang on, what is this, after a break from my cricket games. And I really liked Mohammed Rafi's singing at that time, so I learned all the songs on all the cassettes, performed it to my neighbors, anyone who would bother to listen, and I'll tell you what, they all really liked it. And so that only encouraged me further, and I went and learned. In a few years I started singing on stage, and that one thing led to another. I moved to New Zealand, got a lot of exposure in New Zealand. I was performing 3 concerts every weekend almost, which is why it's sort of the number of concerts and the experience and the exposure really ballooned up in New Zealand. After that I came to Australia. Australia was brilliant as well. I've had the pleasure of learning a lot from the mentorship of Shankar Mahadevan. As you said, I worked with Udit Narayan ji, with Sadhna Sargam ji, who's also recorded a song with me in my debut album, which was released by Shankar ji as well. So I've learned a lot, have made many mistakes, but have also developed as a singer, as a lyric writer, as a composer. And then of course in 2008 I started writing my first book, which completely came out of nowhere. I got published in 2012. So it's been an interesting journey, to say the least.
Yeah. So tell us about your mentorship with Shankar Mahadevan and what influence he's had on your life.
Yeah. Look, there's, when I say mentorship, it's not a formal arrangement of any sense at all. It's all due to the warm heart and the love that man possesses, apart from the abundance of talent. He is no doubt a genius, and I have had the privilege of working very closely with that genius. In 2005, I got the opportunity to sing with him in Auckland. It was a big concert, there was 3,000 people. I sang with him there, and since then he's taken a real deep interest in my music. He was the person to make me realize that every singer is unique in their own right, and when a singer does the mistake of imitating some other singer, they're actually doing themselves a huge disservice. And he made me see that. I was called the Udit Narayan of Auckland, and I enjoyed that while it lasted, but it had its side effects. So Shankar ji encouraged me to release my own album, and he said, look, if you make the album, I'll come and launch it, which he did. So under him, I had the privilege of meeting A.R. Rahman, singing to A.R. Rahman individually as well. So I've learned a lot. I watched a lot of recordings of Shankar Ehsan Loy in the studio. Again, Shankar ji kindly said, look, come into the studio, watch what happens there. And I took him up on it. And so it was really interesting, and he's been a well-wisher, a friend, and a musician par excellence from whom I've gained a lot.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about your debut album,
Sure.
one that got 2.5 million views on YouTube? And
Sure. Actually, so the debut album was back in 2007, and that was when I was still living in New Zealand. So in those days, I used to make about 4 to 5 trips to India every year to try and record the album. So I had the pleasure of working with Ricky Cage from Bangalore, who incidentally has won a Grammy last year. So after A.R. Rahman, it's only Ricky Cage who's won a Grammy. So he's a brilliant musician. We made the album. Shankar ji listened to the songs in its development, critiqued the songs the way he can. Sadhna ji sang one of the songs. So we released it. It was good. I was the first Kiwi Indian, if you may, to release the album. We did a music video, which was featured on MTV Channel V. Did reasonably well, but famously, I remember a quote when I was sitting in the offices of Sony. They said, "We love your music, but pop is dead." I said, "Really?" They said, "Even if Sonu Nigam were to release a pop album, it'll still be dead because the market is film music in India." So that was interesting. The 2.5 million views actually happened way after. That happened in 2013. So when I moved to Australia, I collaborated with Bobby Beebob, a very accomplished musician from Chennai as well, and he's worked a lot of. He was co-founder of Moksha, which is India's biggest rock band in the 90s. And so we formed Saffron Groove, and we said, okay, let's make a song, let's make a video, let's see what it does. We were happy with 200,000 views. We were popping, champagne at 200,000 views. But then it actually crossed over 2.5 million, and we were extremely excited with what it did, and that resulted us getting signed to BMG, which is one of
I was going to ask you that.
USA's biggest music publishing house, really, and we have a deep relationship with them. Hopefully, our album will come out this year, and we can talk more about that later.
Okay, so what are your current and future projects?
Look, lots happening. So, there's obviously live performances, a lot of that on the scene, doing one in a couple of weeks, which I'll speak to you about in a minute. And recorded projects are on the go as well. So we're working on finishing the album. So we've got about 9 tracks in the album. We're shooting music videos for the album. So that's all happening this year. Hopefully by September, we're able to put the album out. I'm also working on a lot of singles. So I work on spiritual fusion music. It's a project called Highway to Nirvana. It's like, it's a play on Highway to Hell, but it's Highway to Nirvana. And so we release a lot of spiritual fusion, which is modern music, modern arrangement, to really encourage and entice the youth to go towards spirituality. That's what I'm trying to achieve there. So those projects are happening on the side. The live concert that I mentioned to you is called Sukoon Ale, like Himalaya. It's a bit of a mouthful. Yeah. But so it's basically we wanted to do a Baithak type concert, sit down, aram se, with really sukoon. That was the whole idea behind the naming of the show. We'll do some Jagjit Singh songs. We're going to do some Pankaj Udhas songs. We're going to also take a lot of the beautiful film songs that people have loved and then show them where these songs came from, which is from classical music. And so the ragas have contributed a lot to Indian music. Composers in the 60s, 70s, Shankar Jaikishan, Lakshmikant Pyarelal, R.D. Burman used to use the classical system to develop beautiful melodies. And that's what we're going to demonstrate.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sai, for your time, and we wish you all the very best for all your future projects, and may you do wonderfully well in future.
Thank you, and good luck to Bollywood as well. We're really proud of what you've achieved as well, and hopefully the community of arts grows in Melbourne and Australia as well.
Thank you so much. So before you go, can I request you to sing another song for us?
Sure. Look, the first song I sung was new, Arijit Singh. Everyone loves Arijit Singh, and rightfully so. Why don't I sing something from the yesteryears, from the golden times? Chandan sabadan, chanchal chitvan, dheere se tera ye muskana, mujhe dosh na dena, jag walon, mujhe dosh na dena, जग वालों हो जाओ अगर मैं दीवाना चंदन सबदन चंचल चितवन.
That was fantastic, Sire. Thank you so much for coming here and for your time, and we wish you all the very best for your future projects, and may you do wonderfully well in the future.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. Hopefully we do this all over again very soon.
That was fantastic, Sire. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the very best for all your future projects, and we look forward to watching your show Sukunale on 2nd April.
Absolutely, and I'm going to not only just invite you, I'm going to invite all of you Melburnians, all of you music lovers, 2nd of April, Chandler Theatre in Keysborough, April 2nd, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Sukunale. If you love Jagjit Singh, if you love Pankaj Udhas, those all beautiful melodies, be there. I look forward to entertaining you all.